Hello, good afternoon. I'm hoping you're enjoying your weekend. My name is Sarah Sigaye. Welcome to this edition of Brothers in Cooperation, a program brought to you by the Italian Corporation. Today is our not final program, but last program for this year. And it's been wonderful having you. And don't go away, because we are going to talk about organizations that have been formed through the support of the Italian Corporation. And with me in the studio right now is Mrs. Yes, Noelina Namukisa. Welcome.
Thank you.
She is the Executive Director of Meeting Point. We also have Mr. Yiga Nicholas. Welcome.
Thank you.
Mr. Yiga Nicholas, how can you be both the coordinator and the director of, of ISP Uganda?
It is simple.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a director
Mm-hmm.
by virtue of my role in the organization, and I'm project coordinator as a result of the tasks, duties, and responsibilities I have and I run in the programs of the organization.
Oh, wow. So the organization doesn't have a coordinator?
It does, and I am the one.
Okay. I would like you to tell me what ISP Uganda is.
ISP Uganda is a local organization formed for purposes of improving the livelihood of Ugandans, needy people, and building the capacity of local organizations. It's a humanitarian organization.
Okay, so how does it improve the livelihood and the capacity? What exactly do you do?
What we do, we work with local organizations, Ugandan organizations, that are working with needy communities in various fields such as education, health, HIV/AIDS, development, agricultural development, vocational skills training, etc.
Okay, so tell me, why is it called ISP Uganda? Is there another ISP?
Yes, we derive the name ISP from our partners, or we should say the source, the organization we developed from, and that is Insemesipo, or ISP Africa.
Insemesipo meaning?
Insemesipo means together we can.
Oh, so that's what. Is it Insemesipo the same as ISP?
Yes, ISP stands for Insemesipo.
Oh, it's Italian?
It's Italian.
Okay, why do you have to call a Ugandan organization an Italian name?
While the name derives from an Italian name, we don't call ourselves Insemesipo Uganda. We call ourselves ISP Uganda, because we keep the identity of together we can. Probably in the future it could turn into something like Agali Awamu, because that's what it means.
Why don't you call it Agali Awamu, so that the Italians can also learn Agali Awamu?
That's where we may go, we may get.
So tell me, what is the Italian, whatever, government or Italian support? What is the magnitude to the extent that they influence how you, the vision?
They've actually supported us for quite some time, and many other organizations, to the extent that there are a number of organizations, including ours, that has been formed, active and very prominent, working, changing the lives of people, improving the lives of Ugandans.
No, I would like to get an idea. What is the nature of support? Did they advise you to start this organization? Did they give you funding and said, okay, here is ISP, so now you also have to start a local branch?
First, we worked with them, so we gained experience, knowledge.
Worked with them in Italy?
Here in Uganda.
There is ISP in Uganda?
There is ISP Africa, yes, as an international NGO with its base in Italy.
Oh,
Yes.
so that ISP that is in Uganda, isn't it a duplication of what you're doing? What's the difference in terms of the work that you do?
It isn't. At the moment, we are local, we are activity focused, while for ISP Africa, the international organization, is mainly a donor and not an implementer of most of the activities, except in Karamoja, where they had quite a good experience. And as you know, Karamoja is unique. Not many organizations can just jump in there and do much.
So ISP Africa is the one that is involved in Karamoja?
Yes.
You don't work with them in any way?
We do. We partner with them. ISP Uganda has been able to source for funds for many activities, including some activities that are in Karamoja, and that's where we have partnered with them. Them being with experience and on the ground in Karamoja.
Okay, so they are the funders, but in this case you're funding them.
In this case, yes, we are.
Ironic, isn't it?
Yes, it's a two-way partnership program.
Interesting. I'd like to come back and get more details about what you do, but for now I'll go to Madam Noelina Namukisa. Welcome to this program again.
Thank you.
So tell me, what about the meeting point? Is it a joint where people come and meet?
It can be, but it's a local organization, a non-profitable organization, which supports vulnerable groups of people, but mostly focus on people living with HIV and AIDS and their families.
How do you do that?
We give medical support, we give psychosocial support, school fees and scholastic materials to the children, income generating activities.
So you don't support you don't support people who are infected, but you support like generally people who are infected, like their families?
We do support the infected and the affected, because you can't help someone who is infected only, since that person may have like dependents, like children, like maybe other relatives who are depending on that person. So when you enter in a family, you enter deeply, not just to pick that person who is HIV positive, but to go deep in the family and help also like the people who is under that person. And probably after the death of that person, maybe the people remaining behind may be in need of support.
Madam Noelina, I think you will excuse my, I hope I don't come across as insensitive now, but increasingly the general belief is that if someone is on medication, they're as good as alive, in a sense that they can then take care of their families. By you supporting the affected and infected, aren't you encouraging a situation where these people see themselves as victims and then wait to be supported?
I don't think so, because we don't help everyone who is living with HIV. No. We pick the vulnerable ones, the vulnerable group of people. Like, for example, there are people, yes, there are drugs, but not everyone is like strong, you know. And meeting point implementing in slum areas, mostly of Namuwongo, where you find a group of people who came from different parts of the country or even outside the country, like Congo, Rwanda, Southern Sudan and what have you. Some of them have not gone back yet. And you found out that like the Congolese, they keep on coming every now and then. And the more they come, the more disease they bring. So those people are staying in that slum area whereby they don't have jobs. But we don't take on board like every person who is registered with us, but we only select those most vulnerable ones, and then we continue with them.
Give me a scenario of some of the people you say support. How how vulnerable must they be for them to qualify for your support?
When a person comes to meeting point and she or he is tested positive, we register her or him. Then afterwards, we go to the home, we visit the home. Then that person, we can identify the person through the home because of the way, I mean the home, the way how the home looks like. For example, people in Namuongo, if I can mostly talk on the people of Namuongo, these are the people who are staying in compacted homes, you know. Their income just is got from brewing of local beer, going down in the swamp and pick some green vegetables which they just move on the street to sell to get something to eat. Children cannot go to school, they don't have clean water, you know, those kind of people. So those are the kind of people we support.
How do these people find out about Meeting Point?
Meeting Point now is well known since 1992. So everyone.
Is that when you started?
Yeah.
What was the basis? What made you decide to start Meeting Point?
Exactly, the Meeting Point started in the northern Uganda by a group of friends who wanted to fight the disease through a friendship way. So it also came to Kampala.
So supporting through a friendship way meaning?
Like in the 1990s, people never wanted to come out to accept that they were infected. But because of the friendship which the friends had, it encouraged that family of the late Eli. Actually, yeah, Eli is the person who really forced people of Meeting Point to start the Meeting Point.
Was he infected?
He was infected and he came out and declared that he was HIV positive. Wow. In the 90s, it was very, very, very difficult because of people fearing of stigma.
Especially in Kitgum. Was he based in Kitgum?
He was based in Kitgum. Then afterwards, he came here to Kampala. Because of we have what we call CCL. CCL is communion and life. Christ, communion,
sounds
and life.
Catholic?
Yeah, it's a Catholic founded in Italy. And the group of people who meet, sometimes they may choose a day like Wednesday, like Tuesday, and then you meet to talk about your lives and the lives of the surrounding people. So that's how it came out that the friends were in their daily meeting, and then the wife of Eli was part of them. So she declared that I and my husband, we are infected with HIV and AIDS. But the husband could not take courage of accepting. But in the end, the wife convinced him.
I think the wife started, not Eli. The wife did initiate.
You know,
sometimes.
Yes, So Eli started moving, even he came to Kampala. And
after he was brought on board. How did you manage, or who managed to convince Eli to come out in the open and declare?
The wife invited him to the group, to the meeting, and then I think when they were in their bedroom, she told him, if you go, please try to say it out because we have friends who can help us, you know.
Oh, that's
so Eli took courage and he mentioned it among the friends that he was HIV positive.
You seem to be talking about Eli in past participle. Is he still alive?
No, he died a long time ago, just
sad.
in the 90s.
Oh,
yeah.
But he had planted a seed.
He planted, of course, the Meeting Point.
Oh, and the wife, did she die?
The wife, I think, also died later on.
Oh,
yeah.
That's sad. So how does the idea come to Namuongo now?
Now, The idea of, the way how the idea came to Namuwongo, I also belong to CCL, Christ Communion and Life. Now, AFC in the beginning,
AFC to my audience is
an Italian NGO.
Yeah, which is, do you know what it means?
International Volunteers Association.
Okay, International Volunteers Association Services, an Italian-based organization.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
So, actually, mostly people who working in AFC, the Italians, belong to CCL. So, in their small offices, we used to meet, just to meet and to find a way of how we can help the people living with HIV and AIDS. That was actually 1992. Now, the way meeting point came to Namuwongo was because I was staying in Namuwongo. So I identified so many people by then who were in hiding. Because of fear, they were isolated, you know what was happening in that period. So I used to go and visit them, wash for them, because in Christ Communion and Life, the focus is to love ourselves and also to love our neighbors, you know. So you can't love a person when you are not helping him or her. Of course, you have to share your happiness, your sufferings, and so on and so forth. So in that, so many people came in and we joined together. Then we came together with another person called Rose, because for her she was a nurse and I was a social worker. So she was treating the people and then I was counseling them, I was helping them, and so on and so forth. Then in the end, the work grew so big that we could not manage, because in 1992 there were very few organizations working on people living with HIV and AIDS. So Rose decided to go to Naguru, where we had another branch, and I remained in Namuwongo. Yeah. So since she had started that meeting point in Naguru, she named it Meeting Point International, and mine remained Meeting Point Namuwongo, Meeting Point Kampala Chamusobongo.
Okay, can you please elaborate more on the Kampala Chamusobongo?
Yeah, actually,
why Chamusobongo?
Yeah, it's a funny name because it makes people laugh, but it's very important for me.
Please tell me.
As I said, we started in 1992. The people of Namuwongo were so illiterate. Very illiterate that even the mere drugs they could not even understand. When you say 1 times 2, the person could just he has the drug and maybe he can take anyhow. Secondly, like as they are very, very poor people, we wanted to start an income generating activities, which we call the revolving fund, to give them funds to start some income generating activities. But there was no way we could start it when these people didn't know how to read and write, because we were encouraging them to keep the money from the bank, I mean in the bank. So and they could not write, they could not read. They were so ignorant. So we wanted to start up an adult literacy classes so that they could learn how to read, how to write, and then they could sign their money in the bank. And so we started the adult literacy group. That was 1994. By 95, majority of the women who were really focused knew how to read and write, and they had they had already started banking the money.
Wow.
Now, the Ministry of Gender gave them examinations. They passed, they got certificates.
How did the Ministry of Gender got?
I went there. I went there.
And
because there is the community development officer in Kampala State Council. That's where I went to get the curriculum, because there is also, they have also a curriculum.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Oh.
So
That's
after the
impressive,
graduation, after their graduation, on that very day, everyone was waving. Wow, my brain is sharp now.
Oh.
So whenever they could come to meeting point, they were saying, telling others, I'm going to sharpen my brain. Those kind of things.
Do
So
you still have the Chamuso Wongo program?
we have very strong group.
There's many people. Is the response still?
Yeah. Very many, and those ones who have who started actually, they are aware of.
With
they have
universal primary education, do we still have issues of people who need?
those are adults.
Oh,
Yeah, and even they are there.
really?
Yeah,
Interesting.
if you want, you can come and see them.
No, I'll be happy to. I'll be happy to come and see them.
Yeah.
I would like to come back to you on that point, but I
Okay.
still want to go back to Nicholas Yiga. Nicholas, tell me, do you have a Chamuso Wongo of that kind?
Well, ours is not really Chamuso Wongo. Probably would say use your hands.
Okay.
Okay, maybe we are slightly different because ISP Uganda mainly supports other organizations to do what they do or to carry out their plans. It's on rare occasions that ISP Uganda also carries out or implements activities directly.
Okay, so what? Because I would also like to get an idea of the organizations that you support, what they do. Do you, for instance, support Meeting Point?
Yes, we do.
Oh, we are talking to one of your funders?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
We don't actually use that term much as we provide.
You're
with
polite and
funds.
say partnership.
Yes, partnership.
But you've provided funds.
We've provided funds and they've done a service.
I'm trying
on
to
our
call
behalf.
a spoon a spoon.
Okay. Yes. that's
So,
right.
okay, so Meeting Point is one of them.
Meeting Point is
What
one
are
of
some of the other organizations?
the organization. There is the Masana of Child and Family Support, in brief called MACAFS.
What do they do?
They engage in skills training, vocational skills training for orphans and other vulnerable children. They are located in Masanafu, St. Emma Road here in Kampala, in Rubaga Division. ISP Uganda is also working closely with the GIDA, Gulu Youth Development Association in Gulu.
Okay. Also skills, providing
Yes, also
skills?
vocational skills training. We've supported them to build a modern vocational training center.
Oh.
They've just completed it.
Where do you get all this money?
This money comes from donors, from other partners. of
Who are
ISP.
some of the donors? Because we were saying the program is about organizations that were developed. After developing the organization, do you get funding from other countries outside Italy?
Yes.
Or do you still only get from Italy?
No, we do get funds from Italy, but also other countries. For example, there is Street Spirits also from Spain. There is, we've been able to attract, sometimes directly, sometimes for our donors. We've improved the capacity of our partner organizations to enable them access funds from other sources.
Interesting.
For example, MACAFS now gets assistance
What's
from
MACAFS?
that is Masana of Child
Oh,
and Family
okay.
Support from USAID and the Intelligence Council of Uganda. We are working with Kawadisa. This is in
I think I
Mubende.
know Kawadisa. For the disabled soldiers?
Yes, soldiers in the rehabilitation center in Mubende. We are working.
What do you do with Kawadisa?
Kawadisa is also skills training. We've trained members from the Mubende Rehabilitation Center, soldiers, disabled soldiers. We've equipped them with skills to be able to go back and make mobility devices such as clutches, etc. So for us, it's improving their capacity for them to be able to do the work.
So strictly, you only support organizations that are dealing with capacity building? That's your area of interest?
No, we support organizations that are working with needy persons. We have no limit. For example, Meeting Point is with those of HIV/AIDS.
Yeah.
GIDA was mainly with the former soldiers and displaced persons in Gulu because of the war. Kawadisa is with the disabled soldiers. There are also other people like in Kabale, his father Gaetano, also improving the lives of needed persons.
In needy
Kabale.
persons, but in which area? Any, it doesn't matter.
That's in microcredit, that's community income generating activities, and also education. Actually, ISP Uganda is very active in educational support. We also partner with the meeting point in this area that is providing school fees for funds for school fees and scholastic materials for needy children.
Okay, well, it's amazing because usually some organizations, particularly local, there is geography involved, and you seem to be spread all over.
Yeah, the reason for that is because we don't do it ourselves. We can afford to, otherwise we would not afford to place our personnel everywhere. But because we look out for those organizations that are serious, that are sincere in what they plan to do, and we support them whenever we can. So it's a cost-effective means for us of having the work done.
Okay.
Yes.
I would like to come back to you and try to tie together what they are doing, what the Italian corporation is doing in terms of supporting your work, and in a way, because time is not our best to lie, I would like to get your parting word.
Yeah. Since the conception of Meeting Point, Italians have played a very big role because in the beginning we started just as volunteers, voluntarily. No organization, no nothing, but just to go out and visit the people, but having no food, having nothing. Then in the end, we started getting some little food from a certain bishop who died, was called Vitarione, and he was working with the Italian corporation. Then AVSI has been an umbrella since Meeting Point started, even up to today, supporting educational program, because since 1997, AVSI has been supporting Meeting Point to send children to schools, vocational schools and primary, secondary, and so on. We have worked with a number of volunteers, the Italian volunteers. Sincerely, they have supported us a lot. And even up to today, we are being supported by ISP. Actually, ISP is supporting around 168 children.
Is that so?
In Meeting Point. AVSI is supporting almost 300 children. We have also another priest through a lady called Dr. Luciana, whom we worked with for a period of almost 16 years or 19, because she has just...
Dr. Luciana?
Yeah.
She was working in Gayaza? Does she
No. She was working as a volunteer, a very kind lady. She worked in Zambia. She was working in AVSI, but she keeps on looking for funds to give to Meeting Point to support the children.
Wonderful. In 30 seconds, what's the vision of Meeting Point? Should God help us, and 3 years from now we don't have AIDS and we have USE, which is successful, and UPE. What's your vision then?
Meeting Point doesn't only work on people living with HIV only. We also have a vocational training to the school dropouts. We have a primary school.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I would like to hear more from you. Interesting, not just interesting, commendable work you're doing. Impressive, the background and how you started it. But time is not our best ally. I would like to wish you like a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year, and Godspeed when you go. And I hope to wish you good luck and hope to come to Meeting Point, maybe to see the commendable work you're doing.
Thank you.
Quickly, I'll come to Mr. Yiga. Your parting word in as far as the corporation and supporting Italy generally and the cooperation and your vision, but in 1 minute.
Yes, we are very grateful to Italians. These are the people who have trained me, worked with me, supported me, and our organization to get where we have. Like the name stands, together we can. Yes, I think with the Italians, together we've done it.
Oh, that's great. I'd like to wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year, and it's wonderful to have you here.
Thank you.
I would also like to thank Arapapa, Santa Anzo, for making me look so beautiful. And we'll go for a break. When we come back, we are going to talk about Brothers in Cooperation. We are going to talk about culture, media, film. Please don't go away. Welcome back. Before the break, I promised that I'm going to talk about culture, and we are going to talk about culture. I have two interesting gentlemen. I have N.10 Kiwere, the program manager, Amakula Kampala Culture Foundation. N.10, it must be a bit strange. You're used to hosting. Now I'm hosting you.
Yes, the hunter is being hunted. So
I'm hunting
that's
you.
Okay.
I also have Ballerini. Ballerini. Should I add another name?
Yes, of course.
Mugisha.
Of course. I have a local name. Why not saying?
Ballerini is the media program manager for the Italian corporation. He's also, actually, I think he will not talk about it, but I'll say it that he is directing, coordinating, and producing. There's Nora, but you've also been doing the work of a producer, producing this program. So thank you very much for that.
Thank you, Sarah. I'm very familiar to the studio. In fact, the last 10 weeks, I think, has been very interesting. We've been, as Italian Corporation, we've been promoting this show that I hope our guest has enjoyed. We've come to the end. So I thought that it could have been an interesting thing to take the chance to talk a little bit about this program and the other cultural and communication activities of the Italian Corporation.
So tell me about this program. What was the genesis? How did the Italian Corporation think, hey, we need to come up with Brothers in Corporation?
Well, I was called in August to follow the work of my colleague Guido Geminiani, that has started the planning this thing a long time ago. So I had an experience in Uganda previously because I was directing another program that is called Cinema Arena here in Uganda, that of course we have to talk about it today also because we also have N.10 here with us. So they told me if I could take care of this show, and of course I jumped on it because it was very interesting. And before starting and during the whole process, we realized that it's a very interesting initiative that it's really, we're really looking forward to continue, by the way.
Okay, so it's been a success. Hey, tell me.
I'm not going to say that.
Come on, I need to hear that. Is it a success?
The host has been great. What can I say?
Oh, that I'm glad to hear. Okay, how about the rest of the team and the feedback?
The whole crew, of course. The WBS that has been hosting us has been great, and the whole team that I really, really would like to invite to just be presented before the end of this show.
That would be interesting, because usually the technical crew do a lot of work because they don't have a face. They do have a face, but not on screen. They usually don't get acknowledged, so that will be wonderful. So tell me, what has been the response by, for instance, we've had the ambassador here, we've had people who are actually doing commendable job that we've never heard of before in Karamoja, in Gulu. What do they think, like coming to this space and having a platform where they can express this?
Well, every guest that has been here has been happy, satisfied with the show, and of course also our audience, that for what we were able to listen to, it was very interesting, of course, to learn about these kind of things. I think it's a very important a way to get the people close, beneficiaries with people who are working here. And of course, even people that are not really usually involved in this, they may sometimes ask themselves what is really going on. And I think that visibility for the organizations that are working in a country is not just something that they can do it for their own things, but it's important that organizations are exposed. So visibility is something that is important because you get exposed and people really know that what you're doing is genuine, and this is, we believe this is very important.
Can I make a confession? Yeah? When I was offered this opportunity, to be honest with you, I was more attracted to the possibilities of getting some money. But I feared that it might be boring, it might end up being a PR or program. I was surprised because, first of all, the things that, the revelations, the amount of work people are doing, and the freedom to let me interview and the entire crew have the flexibility to do it as a program, not as a publicity tool, was really interesting for me. It made the program worth looking forward to. So maybe I want to, and I'm not trying to get a job.
No, but definitely, definitely, if we will continue with this program, we'll go even more deep in the direction you're saying, because it's important to have a program that is not publicity, as you're saying, but it really explains and go deep in issues.
Because it was also very informative in terms of when we are exploring the amount of information we are getting and the feedback that you get in the field. I don't want my audience to mistake me for trying to secure a job. I think I already have it. So now I would like you to throw more light on this other project. How do you come into Uganda and do media work?
Well, as I was telling you, when I came to Uganda, I was called for a program that was called Cinema Arena, and that we are still looking forward to bring ahead. The program was very interesting because it was traveling into very remote villages. It traveled for 60 days in 2 terms, 30 days and 30 days, in the Acholi region and in the West Nile region. And we partnered with, of course, Amakula Cultural Foundation. And in the second 2, we partnered with Native Travel Festival. Now, the topic of today, we decided it to be, to give an idea, because it's the last show, of how when you come in a country you can work, but at the same time put basics for other organizations, maybe local, to keep working even once you have gone. So related to this, the Cinema Arena project has partnered with these 2 organizations, and so it has, of course, gave skills to the organization, but it also made a donation of equipment with which Native Travel Festival, the second organization, will be able to continue doing this project, which maybe I would like our guest Nathan to talk about a little bit what is Cinema Arena, because I'm talking very general and I'm not getting deep into it.
Okay, I think functionally I should keep quiet about Native Travel Festival. I will go to Nathan Kiwere, who is a culture practitioner and the initial partner for Amakula Kampala Culture Foundation. By the fact that I am a host, I think I shouldn't take the shoes of telling what happened in Cinema Arena. So can you please tell us about the Cinema Arena experience and how Amakula as an organization benefited?
Thank you so much, Sarah. First of all, Amakula Kampala Culture Foundation is a non-profit organization which has been around since 2004, and it was created with a mission, among other things, to raise the profile of film. And most people know us about our flagship program, which is the Amakula Kampala International Film Festival. One is taking place right now at the National Theatre last day. Today
is the closing night.
Yeah, and they invite everyone to come.
And entrance is free, so
starting 7 p.m. But anyways, we have been in a partnership with the Cinema Arena because we have a common goal, trying to reach out to the audiences out there using the medium of film, which is, to me, a very powerful medium that combines audio and visual. We're trying to use film as a tool to create dialogue in terms of in matters of culture. And we have been with Cinema Arena during their last mission in the north, and I think it was such a great experience, having that opportunity to reach out to audiences on such a big platform, which we as Amakula had found quite difficult in the past. We have been, of course, operating, especially in the areas around Kampala, through our other program called N.10, been able to reach out to other up-country areas, but not on such a scale where we could have an opportunity with Cinema Arena to have a protracted program of 60 days in a row. I think we've never done that as Amakula. So yeah, we thought working with the Cinema Arena was such an opportunity to open for us great opportunities to reach out to crowds, which would probably take us many years, or I don't know, to be able to reach out to. So yeah, we have, like I said, a common goal. We have a great interest to make film, to make film accessible to as many audiences as we possibly can, but most importantly to project films with themes that are very relevant to human society, socially, politically, in terms of health, stuff like that. So we as a film organization, of course, we had the collection of films that Cinema Arena probably would like to work with, and some bit of equipment as well. So I think the partnership was really good.
The first partnership that you had, that was, you did 30 days.
Yes.
You, as a culture foundation, you were working with an organization that was that was on a health campaign. Isn't that a bit of a contradiction, in a sense that then you become a publicity tool as opposed to culture? Where is the link?
Well, yeah, Amakula, essentially we promote art we promote film as an art form, okay? But I think art should also be relevant. There is what they call applied art, and then aesthetics. Those who study art know that aesthetics is the science of beauty. A painting is a work of art which, if I put in my house, my guests will be very happy to see it. And wow, that's wonderful. It makes my interior, look interesting. But there is applied art, which is functional. It has a functional purpose, like this art. This cup is a work of art. Okay, it's a beautiful thing to look at, but at the same time, I can use it to take water or to take tea. So the same thing as your dress you're wearing. It's a work of art. The jewels you're wearing are works of art, and but they are functional. They make you look beautiful. So film can be used beyond the functionality, beyond the art aspect, to function. So we thought, as Amakula, we were not necessarily overstepping our mandate, using film to reach out to the audiences in terms of matters pertaining to health. So, in my opinion, I think it's not a publicity tool.
Yeah, I think I've also tickled Martha.
Yes.
Would you like to say something to that?
Yeah, I would like to explain a little bit more about Cinema Arena in general. Cinema Arena is basically a health campaign and social campaign. It had run in different countries, and depending in which countries we bring this project, the Italian Corporation bring this project, it changes in relation which are the social issues that are most important. So in Uganda we decided to focus on health, and we partnered with the Ministry of Health to have guidelines that were in line with the country policies. So basically the idea of Cinema Arena is bringing in remote villages where people don't have a lot of access to informations, bring health campaigns, but in a way that we bring health campaigns together with culture, together with entertainment, to make sure that when people are experiencing this education, they can have a good experience, and they can really learn during the night, not get tired, not get bored, not feeling that they are taught, but really with an approach that starts from them in a dialogue with the people that we meet. So we organize projections of videos, we make discussions. In partnership with Makerere University, we've worked on forum theater, and in partnership with the National Museum, Uganda Museum, we have worked to get the participation of the elders to our events. So it's a work in which we really try to involve the people that we meet and to discuss with them about their health issues and combine it with culture and entertainment. So music, dances, all of that.
Okay. Maybe Malcolm would not want to, he's trying to be modest, but the strength of their project, Cinema Arena, is the ability to partner with organizations, local, and also pull in like experts from all sectors, but mainly, as opposed to being patronizing, involve the communities into the issues that affect them and hear from them, as opposed to telling them what to do and what they need to do. Nathan, I would like you to tell me about more about Amakula after partnering with Cinema Arena. How did it guide your operations then?
First of all, it was an eye-opener to us in terms of the practical needs of societies. It has taught us that there is an element of film that is so powerful. And of course, maybe we didn't know as much the potential of film in terms of its effect and the community transformation. So to us, we realized that we have a bigger mandate. And in fact, after Cinema Arena, last year we characteristically had one big platform, which we called the Amakula Kampala International Film Festival. But for the first time, we decided to
Nathan, I am really sorry. I'll get back to you on what you were saying, but I have someone online, John Sanya, the project manager for CHESP. Hey, John.
Hi.
Hey, wonderful to have you online.
Thank you.
How are you? Malco is here and he would like to say something to
Yes, because I have to say that I had to fulfill my, my job until the last show. So even if we're talking about this media program of Italian cooperation, I know that we couldn't miss talking about this vocational institute in Kayunga that we've been visiting last week when they had their inauguration. So I allowed myself to ask our staff to make this phone call, to call this friend of ours, this brother, that maybe will talk to us about this really important inauguration that we had in Kayunga.
Okay, so please tell us about that project that you launched.
Thank you so much. This project was supporting the rehabilitation of Ahmed Sekou Vocational Institute in Kayunga. It was a one-year project that started early this year in January, and it had an overall objective of improving the services provided the students of that institute. We had 4 specific objectives. One was to rehabilitate all the existing structures of the institute. 2, to provide practical tools to all courses offered in that institute. 3, was to support the capacity building for the teaching staff and the management of the institute. And 4, was to provide textbooks and furniture to the institute. Indeed, given those targets, we, after implementing the project for a period of around 9 months, we've been able to achieve a lot. 1, we have rehabilitated 2 dormitories for boys. We rehabilitated 6 classroom blocks, a kitchen, a main hall. We also installed power to all the structures we rehabilitated, including installing the standard to all the structures. We also extended piped water to the school in the distance of around 4 kilometers from the nearing town of Kangulumira, and connected this water to all the dormitories, including moving it to the staff of the institute. We constructed 2 8-stanza VIP latrines for boys and girls of the institute. We also constructed modern shower rooms for boys and girls. We constructed a kitchen and also installed a modern energy-saving stove in this kitchen. We provided technical tools to all courses offered in this institute, worth 200 million. We also provide a textbook.
I'd like to thank you, Mr. Sanya, for the commendable job. Congratulations. Good luck with the project and what you're doing. And thank you very much for joining us on this program on phone. Thank you very much.
Thank you, John.
Thank you, thank you.
Before we talk to John, Nathan, you were telling us about the vision of Amakula briefly, or the experience, but also briefly tell us the future.
Yeah, in a minute. Yeah, last year we had a festival which was, like in the past years, one big platform, but for the first time this year, and I think based partly on the experiences we had with the Cinema Arena, we decided to break down our festival and take it further to upcountry. So this year we had what we've called the Amakula Kampala Cinema Caravan Festival. Caravan because we will take the festival for the first time to other parts of the country. And I think we are likely to expand on that model. And so thanks to Cinema Arena, we hope to become of more effect in the future to the audiences out there. That's
wonderful to hear. And welcome back from the caravan.
Thank you.
How is the festival going?
It's going on so well.
How has the turn-up been?
It's been great, but I think it will be greater today when some of you come and join us.
Well, the audience should join. Entrance is free. National Theatre, great films, culture, support your culture, and Amakula Kampala International Film Festival. So you don't want to miss. I think that was Kalango that you must pay for. But I'll go to Malco quickly. Malco, the programs, the Marina, inspiring, initiating, having other projects come out, sprout out of the initiatives.
Well, we're trying. I can say we're just trying to do our best. The program that has supported the Brothers in Cooperation Italy will run to the end of March this year, and we'll try to do more activities that will help Ugandans and Italians to get closer and becomes even more strengthening this friendship. At the end of all of this, really my heart and my thanking goes to all the crew that has worked for this program, and of course all the guests that we had. They will be able to see again the shows on a YouTube channel of it's called Ugandese Videos, because it's a YouTube channel.
Okay, Ugandese.
Ugandese, because it's a YouTube channel of a website that we are going to launch very soon, that is called Lugandese in Italian. It would be www.ugandese.ug. And this website has a video gallery and photo gallery, and all the shows will be, you will be able to see it on this website.
So don't miss me so much, you know where to find me.
Yes.
Okay, and the program. I would also like to add my voice to that and thank everybody who's made this program possible. Franco or Francis Kasozi, I remember in my earlier days at WBS, we used to call him father. Are you still a priest? Thank you very much for the work. Lamek Luwemba, sound mixer, thank you very much for giving us and making sure we have great sound. Ahmed Senabulia, working on the video mixer. Hey, thank you. Nali Nora Rita, the producer, director, that is the one who tells me back in line sometimes. Hey, we want to see your face. Sawa, good, thank you. Andrew Okema, transmission. Andrew, can we see you? Stop hiding. Yeah, and those are the WBS studios. I don't know if there's any other studio as huge as WBS, so well done. Alex Makumbi, he's also transmission. Alex, can we see your face? Hey, what is happening? I want to see Alex's face. Nora, we caught you in action. Okay. Caesar Kiza, that is the one who, if we do a lot of poko, we have to pay for the kalango and all that. He's the senior business accountant officer. Hey, Caesar.
Hi, Caesar.
Hey, and on camera, Simon Serebe. Are we going to see Simon? Wonderful. We also have Katongole. Katongole, where are you? Hey, Simon, you delayed to give us Katongole. I'm still waiting for Katongole. Great, well done, thank you very much. Can the cameras turn to my makeup artist Lillian before as I am also announcing Fred Lutakome also on camera. Where is Fred? Wow, thank you for the great work. If you see me looking beautiful, that is the lady. She's guilty. She is responsible for me looking beautiful. She's my makeup artist. Hey, thank you very much. I'd also like to thank Arapapa, Santa Anzo for making me look beautiful. You like this jewelry? You know where to go? Nakmat. Arapapa. You like this dress? Beautiful African outfits, but also all sorts of outfits. You have to go to Arapapa, and Santa will make sure that you are smart. It's been wonderful hosting you. It's been wonderful having you all these 10 weeks. Thank you to the crew. Thank you to the Italian Corporation for making this possible, for funding the... Thank you for all the guests that we have had coming. Thank you for the audience, and we really appreciate the feedback we've been getting from you. And to all, even the people, the security, they can tell you late, other guests have arrived. I want to thank all of you, and I want to wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Merry Christmas to everyone.